Dreams. Hey guys, for today's video, I was going to do a cover song on my ukulele, and then I had a very sudden realization that I have no idea how to play this thing. And so I'm going to put that to the side, and we're going to begin a very hungover ASMR today. It's still going to be in the theme of something different. I actually wanted to try out a new trigger with you guys. So it's quite different. I don't think I've heard or seen anybody do it. And you'll understand what it is as soon as it starts happening. But it is a spoken trigger, and it involves a little bit of editing, and yeah, I'm gonna have to see how it works. I haven't tried this yet, but I've been meaning to do this kind of thing for a little while now, and so I guess we'll start. I'm going to share with you quite a fond memory that I had when I was a little bit younger, and I'm going to see how it sounds like. So, when I was in the 9th grade, I had a best friend who invited me over for a sleepover. This was a big deal because I had never gone to a sleepover before, even though I was, in fact, like 13 at the time. My parents were very against sleepovers, and with this friend, I luckily was able to go because my parents have known his parents for like 20 years, so way older than I was. So this was the first time that I was going to be sleeping over at a friend's house, and it was very exciting. On top of that, we were going to sneak out during the middle of the night to go to our girlfriend's houses, which was going to be even more exciting. But before we could do any of that, I remember I showed up at his place around 7 o'clock because we were 13, and that was pretty damn late for us. And so, yeah, his family invited me in. I think I brought a sleeping bag because we were going to hold the night, the whole night in his basement. He had a very lovely basement. It was very well made. There was like this whole model train set that went around, and it just had this very comfortable vibe where he had all of his video games and stuff. So yeah, we just set up in the basement. There I put down my sleeping bag, and we set up some games. I remember my favorite one, I forget the name of it, but it was some kind of open world racer game, like motocross or something. So you would ride on a motorcycle or like a variety of weird tiny vehicles, and you would just ride through this. I mean there's very different maps, but in this case we always took the same one, and it was like this roller coaster carnival area, and there you would just get points from riding and flipping. I swear we could play this game all day. It was so much fun at the time. So yeah, we played that game along with some kind of zombie game as well. And yeah, that was fantastic. I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock approached, maybe 11 o'clock, and we decided it was time to break out. Now, what you have to know is both of our parents are very strict on this kind of stuff. So sneaking out was a challenge and a half. We were not going to risk going through the front door at all. We were just going to go out through the window, like the window of the basement. And we arrived at our first obstacle. It was the little net that prevented bugs from coming into the house. It was non-removable, and so there was no way to take it out. And so we had this netting that was keeping us inside. And my friend, he's a little bit of a rebel, and he just said, screw it. He got his pocket knife and he cut the actual net out. I'm sure his father gave him hell the next day. But yeah, he cut that out, and we crawled out during the middle of the night. And what we did from there is we proceeded to walk to our girlfriend's houses, And I just remember how I can't even explain the feeling. It was just such a euphoric feeling of just walking outside in the middle of the night. It was way quieter than I would have ever expected, because I don't think I was ever out at that time just walking the streets. And here we are, two 13-year-olds just kind of walking down the streets aimlessly, trying to find our way to our girlfriends' houses, which they were having a sleepover too, but the walk to their places was like 30 minutes or something, or 40 minutes, but we just said screw it, and we just made our way down, just walking down the streets. It felt like a movie where all the street lights were just passing by, and we were both just so excited and hyped up on euphoria that everything felt so surreal as we walked down the streets. Eventually, we made it to their house, and did he have a cell phone? Yeah, he texted them, and they were saying that they couldn't get out, like their parents were checking up on them every 5 minutes. They couldn't get out. We were like talking about like breaking them out of there, and like we told them how we got out through the window, and so like we were gonna help them get out through their window there. But overall, they did chicken out, and they ended up staying there, and so we just said screw it, whatever, we're 13, we don't really even care about girls. And so we just kept going on our walk. There was this brand new subdivision that was being built, and it just had all these construction sites and huge piles of sand and everything. And both of us are quite athletic and a little bit crazy, so we just started climbing these houses that had yet to be built, and the mounds of sand, and just having a completely terrific time. And I remember one scene very vividly as we were walking down the streets back home, and it was just the moon and the way the sky was lit. I was explaining to him like how cool I thought it was, and how surprised I was that that's actually how it looked like. You know, it may sound silly, but for a 13-year-old who only was outside during the day and then had a curfew at 8 o'clock, and then at home I would like just mess around in the basement or break some toys and crap like that. So I never really even paid attention to the dark outside, and I always thought it was kind of scary and meant to be left alone. And then here we are, two kids, broken out, walking down the street, and all I feel is peace and how beautiful it looks and how relaxing and calm it is. And there's no murderers on the streets, and there's no crazy people, except for two kids, of course, walking down. And it just looks so beautiful, the way like the sun, it seemed like the sun was already coming up, because I think it was like 4 in the morning. Like we were out for hours upon hours just exploring and having a great time, and we could see like the moon going down on one end and the sun like just about to peek up over the horizon, and it just looked so beautiful. And we started to rush back home because we didn't realize how fast the time had gone. And yeah, we just got back in through the window. We went back to sleep. Everything went back to routine. Even I was surprised that they didn't realize we were gone. I thought we were gonna get back, and like our parents would be waiting, and they'd all be angry that, you know, we left and stuff like that. But what I did find out the next day after the whole ordeal is that their parents were just playing it cool. Apparently they found out pretty much right away that we left. And so they just kind of let us explore and waited for us to get back and pretended like they didn't notice, because apparently the next morning my friend got a very stern yelling, and he said that he was such a good friend. He said that he even covered for me, so he like begged them that they wouldn't tell my parents, and so he took like a beating for that, just so my parents wouldn't find out. It's really rather interesting how little kids think, and it's just a very comforting feeling. So yeah, I know this video was a bit shorter, but I'm going to have to see how this is going to work. I'm just realizing how the jump cuts might work, as I kind of want it to flow. So I'm hoping maybe if I keep fading in sides, it might work out pretty well. So yeah, I know that even before editing this video or even seeing the results, I expect that this may not work, especially for long videos. What I would think this would work perfectly for is in a layered video where you could kind of just have the words flowing and attacking you. But an extended version of this, I feel like, just kind of overdoes it and takes away from the experience. But once again, we'll see. That's just my prediction. I'm hoping I'm completely wrong and it's fantastic long or short. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry for all of this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another one.